Let's just talk a few minutes about where we go from here. Is there more analysis and research that you're doing based on what you heard this evening, or is there more presentation that you're making at the next meeting in terms of some of your
Probably a little of both, although I think there's still more for the board to go through in this document with the TCC until we can, kind of put something together that's going to be, more fruitful for, ensuing discussions.
Yeah, I have some specific,
We have, I have
issues
notes, I
where
have
we
a lot
need
more
to-
notes on this, and they, we probably should devote more time. I'm thinking, if we can get at the next meeting, 2 hours, I don't know what the agenda's like. And the other thing, I hate to say this, but we may even want to consider, like, if we have a lot of the agenda, doing a special for this, because it's gonna take time to get through it. There's a lot of things, and we're required by statute to go through this, so.
There are 5 elements, and we just completed the first of 5 mandatory elements within the context of the master plan reexamination report.
What's our agenda look like coming up, Sonia?
This is our only meeting in February, and then we have 2 in March.
Yeah.
We have 1 application for the next coming meeting. The minor subdivision.
Which one is that, Sonia?
Oh, that's Mercadante?
That shouldn't take a long time.
And our meeting dates in March, I'm sorry,
March 6th
6 and 20.
and the 20th.
20.
Linda, I have you. Linda,
I'm not available.
I know.
I'm out on the 20th, but the rest of the time.
Okay, so can we book 2 hours on the next first March meeting? For this?
You want March, both March?
Yeah, book them for both March, but I like 2 hours in the first March meeting. So just to talk about it a bit more, so we're going to spend a couple more hours at least, but do you think 2 hours is sufficient for you to finish your review of the major bullet points? Maybe not?
Yeah, maybe, Mr. Chairman, maybe.
Okay.
What do you think, Jim?
I'll give it a maybe too. I mean,
Okay, well, we have a good shot, but we'll definitely complete it by the second March meeting,
Yeah.
right? Because we need time.
Yep.
This is just the beginning.
Yep.
And so just a couple more thoughts. For the public standpoint, I really appreciate you all coming and listening to all this. Again, I just want everyone to understand it's our job, the planning board's job, per the MLUL,
Yes.
and our attorney can explain that in terms of what we need to do to prepare this report and the kind of evidence that we have. It's not necessarily a meeting that or a report that requires public input in the way that an application does. But that doesn't mean that we won't do that. I think it's quite likely we will do that at some point. But it would be closer when we start pulling together all our thoughts and make it more succinct in terms of the issues that we want to put into the report. And then we would want to get public comment on that, I think, assuming that the board is okay with that. That's what I would like to see happen. But it's still, just for everyone's sake, it's still way too early, for that to happen at this point. It's really, it's our job to pull all this information together and give some guidance to the professionals to go back and do further research and analysis before we begin getting public input. I'd also like to remind our 2 planning board members here. I know, Mr. Goldberg, you had provided some input through Ms. Murphy for some reason, but you are welcome to do that directly to me or the planning board at any time. You're full members of this board. You can come up and ask the same kind of questions that we do. I know it's kind of awkward there, but there'll be meetings in the future where not the whole board will be present.
That is
1 or 2 of you will be up here as well. But just keep that in mind. You're not the same as every member of the public. You remember this board, and so you have the right to ask the same questions and make the same suggestions. Ms. Murphy?
I just had a thought. We made some changes to residential zoning over the last few years, and the one that springs to mind is the RA 87 zone. Is it appropriate for us to somehow leave that in?
Oh, yeah, it's in my notes.
It's in your
When we
notes,
get
okay.
to some of the changes that occurred, it's in there.
Okay,
Yeah, absolutely appropriate.
right, and we also, if I'm remembering correctly, we also have been careful in terms of the number of townhouse units that we allow per acre in these multi-family developments. And I remember some of them have been limited to TH4, some TH6, but not the, heavily dense apartment buildings that you see in some other communities. So speaking specifically to something like that, I think would be
Yeah,
relevant.
I agree. I think in the past, we've been very careful to only allow our lowest density anywhere in the town. We've never really increased the density of those developments, which was relative to some of the other developments that are already here.
Right.
So, yeah, I would agree that.
I mean, I can only think of a couple, like, what is it, the Arbor thing over on
Rose Arbor.
Rose Arbor and Leva Drive. Those are more dense, but most of the others are not, so.
But again, back to the public, and I see there's some questions, but again, to the public, the more, and this, I know this is time consuming, believe me, this is time consuming for us, it's for you, but the more you do attend, then the more valuable your input will be when it comes time to provide that input, because you'll understand better the issues kind of that we've been talking about.
Can I just add something to that?
It's the pleasure of the chair.
These are kind of informal, formal questions.
Just a suggestion.
Uh-huh.
And you need not be sworn in, but it would be appropriate to give your name and address.
Okay. I'm Susan Young. I'm on 35 Schoolhouse Lane. I'm on a number of the committees, the Open Space, the Environmental Commission, the Historic Preservation, and the EDAC Committee. And I invite all of the public to come to our meetings and voice their concerns. I've had some feedback that they want transparency. The master plan has been on the website as far back as I can remember. And this is the first time that many people are even looking into it. So if they have any questions, if they have any concerns, if they have any suggestions to us, to come to our meetings and talk to us at that planning meeting, then we can give that back to Jim and to the groups.
No, that's a good point. In fact, I forgot that aspect too. It's not just the planning board that is giving input in this process. As Jim mentioned early on, we're seeking input from the other committees and commissions that are part of our township government. Again, all of these committees represent the public in different ways and are usually appointed members from the public.
Right.
So again, it's kind of an organized way of kind of distilling all of this input,
Well, I have
to the level that we are.
the 1994 and the 2007, and I have all these little tabs because they kind of intermingle, like Linda was talking about. It's one page and it may impact 4 other different groups. Again, I invite the public to come to our meetings. We meet, there's always an announcement when those meetings are, and we really need their input instead of having groups talking about it, but nothing is done, so.
Great, thank you.
Great comment.
Yes, we have
One more.
Sure. If you'll state your name and address.
Yes, my name is Alan McAlpin. I'm at 5 Armstrong Road. And I have some concerns about aiding the public comprehension of this master plan and some questions that are directed perhaps at solution. We'll take just a moment. In the interest of both aiding public comprehension of the master plan and respect for everybody's investment of time, particularly GCC, I respectfully request that you can provide a comprehensive format for identified changes or proposed changes from the 07 master plan or any other base plan. Can you index those changes by category? that is to say zoning, environmental, or so forth. And can you provide a brief summary as to why those changes are needed, as well as implications of those changes? Who might benefit, who might be disadvantaged by the change? Can you post these index changes on the website? And summary information about 2 weeks in advance of any discussion or opportunity for question and answers by us, the public, and that includes me. What I hope to do is get an answer so that we can set up a structure where the public has a glimpse of what is going to be discussed, a glimpse at the solutions being proposed, and has time to do their own homework, in the hopes that the kind of conversations we might have amongst all ourselves might be elevated as a result. Thank you.
Again, my primary recommendation would be to attend these meetings, and as we all are attending these meetings.
I just have a quick comment. Kathy Wilson, 20 Beechwood Drive. I would like to suggest that it would be beneficial for the community for you to let the community know what's going on, perhaps a messenger email, perhaps a posting on the website. A lot of people don't understand the process that you're going through, and in order to sort of keep on top and monitor and have input into what's going on, you've got to come to the planning board meetings, the open space meetings, the environmental commission meetings, the beautification committee, and it's not convenient to have to attend all of these meetings as a member of the public to understand what's going on. So my suggestion would be to put some type of information on the website and perhaps in a messenger email to let the public know kind of an overview of what the process is. Okay, thank you.
Alrighty? So, Mr. Phillips, we're all set for?
Yeah, we're good for now.
Okay. So at this point, we need to go into closed session. I understand that's correct. So the public meeting has been adjourned.
Yes, we'll need a motion in a second to close the open and open.
That we adjourn, or we're not going back into, we're going to temporarily adjourn the.
But we'll only, I believe we'll only come back into open session, close the meeting.
Okay, so we're going to be adjourning the open session so we can go into closed meeting anyway.
Thank you, Mr. Carl. All in favor, say aye.
And it's to discuss pending litigation, affordable housing declaratory judgment action. The reason for going into court.
I come to many of these meetings
But I did send